A year later, the gentle hum of the bustling city filled the air as Haruto stepped out of the train station. The streets were familiar, but everything seemed a little different now. Time had a way of changing people, and the past year had reshaped all of them in ways they hadn't expected. The cool spring breeze rustled the leaves of the trees lining the streets, and Haruto smiled to himself, feeling a sense of quiet satisfaction. It had been a year since he had graduated from high school. A year since everything had seemed so uncertain, so fragile. But now, as he looked around, he realized how much things had shifted, how much he had changed. Haruto's thoughts drifted to Ao, who was sitting in a small cafe not far from here. They had spent the past year rebuilding their relationship, taking their time, savoring each moment together. The trust that had once been shattered had been mended piece by piece through patience, understanding, and unconditional love. Aoi had grown into a more confident version of herself. She had found a passion for art, something she had buried deep down during the turmoil of their past. Haruto had supported her through it all, just as she had stood by him through his own struggles. They had both learned that love wasn't just about passion, it was about growth, about becoming better versions of themselves together. Then there was Rina. Though Haruto hadn't been able to offer her the love she had hoped for, she had found peace in her own way. She had traveled after graduation, exploring new places, discovering new passions. And during that time, she had met someone new, a kind, thoughtful person who shared her love for adventure and curiosity. Rina had embraced this new chapter with the same open heart she had given to Haruto, but now it was hers to nurture, not anyone else's. Rina had always been strong, even when it seemed like her heart was broken, and now she was thriving in her own right. Haruto often thought of her with gratitude, knowing that she had played an important role in his own journey. She had taught him about the power of letting go, about the grace in knowing when to walk away. Haruto arrived at the cafe, the scent of fresh coffee wafting through the air as he stepped inside. He spotted Aoi by the window, her sketchbook open, her eyes focused on the page in front of her. She looked peaceful, content in a way she hadn't been before. Her presence grounded him, and he knew, without a doubt, that she was where he belonged. Ai looked up as he approached, her face lighting up with a smile. She hadn't changed, at least not in the ways that mattered. She was still the girl who had once been unsure, who had struggled to express her feelings, but now she was strong, vibrant, and sure of herself. They had both learned that love wasn't just about passion, it was about quiet support, about the small moments that meant more than anything else. "Hey," Haruto said softly as he sat down across from her. "Hey," she replied, closing her sketchbook. "How was your day?" Haruto smiled, the familiar warmth spreading through him. "It was good, just busy with work." Aoi tilted her head. "I think we're both in the same place now, building our futures one step at a time." "Yeah," Haruto agreed, his voice soft. "But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, not without you." Aoi's smile deepened, her eyes sparkling with a mixture of affection and understanding. "I feel the same way. It's been a journey, hasn't it?" Haruto nodded. "It has, but I think we're finally in the right place now." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, the outside world buzzing around them. In that moment, Haruto realized that everything they had been through, the heartbreak, the misunderstandings, the time apartheid led them here. It had shaped them, made them stronger, and had brought them to a place where they could finally be together without fear. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the city, Aoi stood up and walked to the window, her hand resting on the glass. Haruto joined her, standing beside her in quiet companionship. "Do you remember when we used to come here after school?" Aoi asked, her voice quiet but full of nostalgia. "Before everything got complicated." Haruto smiled, his heart full of emotion. "Yeah, I remember. It feels like a lifetime ago." "It kind of does," Aoi said, turning to him. "But I think that's okay. We're not the same people we were then. And maybe that's a good thing." Haruto's heart swelled. "We've both changed, but I think we've changed in the right ways." Aoi nodded, her eyes meeting his. "You know, I used to be so afraid of losing you. But now, I think I've learned that love isn't just about holding on. It's about letting go when you need to, and trusting that everything will be okay." Haruto reached out, gently taking her hand. "I never wanted to let you go, Aoi, but I'm glad we're here now, together." The world outside the cafe was full of possibilities, new beginnings, new challenges, and new dreams to chase. Haruto knew that their journey wasn't over, but for the first time, he felt like the road ahead was one he could walk with Aoi by his side. As they stood there, watching the sunset, Haruto realized that this was only the beginning. The love they had fought for was now the foundation for everything they would build in the future. It wasn't about the past anymore. It was about what they would create together from here on out. And, as the sky darkened, painting the world in shades of purple and orange, Haruto leaned in, pressing a gentle kiss to Aoi's forehead. "I'm glad we made it here, Aoi." "I'm glad it's you." Aoi smiled, her heart full, her future uncertain but filled with the promise of love. "Me too, Haruto, me too." The final message. The story of Haruto, Aoi, and Rina was one of growth, of change, and of the bittersweet reality that love isn't always perfect, but it's also about finding peace, whether that means mending broken hearts or learning to let go. In the end, they all discovered that the most important part of love is the journey, the way it transforms you, shapes you, and leads you to where you need to be. As the story closes, Haruto and Aoi stand at the threshold of their new beginning, a future filled with uncertainty but also with hope. And in that hope, they find the courage to face whatever lies ahead, knowing that together they can weather any storm.